Hey guys, so since today is Monday, I have a new video for you guys, and yesterday I posted a video talking about some series cover designs that went terribly wrong. So today I'm going to be doing part 2 where I talk about the series covers that I felt went absolutely right. Let me know down below what your choices would be, and I hope you enjoy this video. So without further ado, let's talk about some covers. So first I'm going to start showing you guys the series where the redesign in my opinion went right. Then I'll go on to the series with the cohesive designs and so on and so forth. The first book I'm going to talk about is Blood Red Road by Moria Young. This is the first book in the Dustlands trilogy, and I got this a couple years ago when it first came out. I saw it on the shelves. I actually liked the cover, but what really caught my attention was the plot summary. So there's nothing wrong with this cover in my opinion. It's really good, it catches your attention, and it really encapsulates everything the world is about in this book. Then the sequel came out. It's called Rebel Heart, and yes, as you can tell from the cover, it is very, very different than the first one. First of all, the texture is completely different. This one is smooth, it's shiny, and it's gold. Second of all, there's a very large figure who is very shadowed, so I like that choice as well. But there's something about this one that is more appealing and kind of stunning than this one, but I feel like this one does match the book more in my opinion. This one is a little bit more fancy and kind of overdone in a way. I kind of wish they continued with this one in a way, but this is an example of a redesign that I don't mind and that I actually really love. So we have Shatter Me by Tahira Mafi, and as you can see, it kind of looks like any other YA book out there, but on the inside it's not like that at all, so I feel like this cover kind of lessened how deep and meaningful the story is. There's something very, very generic about it. The girl's face, the model, the pose, the look. It doesn't, for me, match the story very well. Then the sequel came out. It's called Unravel Me, and as you can see, there's no girl, there's no dress, there's no crazy pose, it's just an eye. Even though it's a better cover in a way, I don't know if it matches the series 100%, that's why I'm on the fence with this, but I still feel like it's in a better direction than this one. With this one, you're like, well, I guess there's a girl in it, you know, it just kind of looks like any other book. This is very different, very unique, and very eye-catching. No pun intended. It came out with the first one in paperback, so if I really wanted, I can go purchase that one. So for me, I don't really mind. I still feel like this is a good choice, and this is a much more eye-catching and beautiful cover than the first one. So for me, this was a redesign gone right. The next redesign I'm going to talk about is the Morganville Vampire series, and when I first started buying these books, this is what they looked like. I have the first several books in this edition. They're pocket sized, they're tiny, and the covers are pretty generic. So fast forward a couple years or so and they started releasing the hardcovers, which look like this. As you can see, there's a continuous theme of a girl's face on the cover with different colors on the spine. Every book has a different color, and I wish I had the whole series in hardcover. I think that'd be amazing. It was a really, really good choice. I'd rather half with these than the rest with all the little ones. So I think it was a good choice. Let me know if you agree or if you've read this series. If you haven't, you definitely should. So this book is Lockdown by Alexander Gordon Smith, and while the cover is cool, there's something lacking about it. It's very bland and simple and a little bit too symbolic in a way. So when they redesigned the rest of the series, I was very, very happy with their choice. The next two books in the series look like this, in the black background with the colors and the whites, and the greens and the reds. Amazing. It really conveys the grit of the series. There's a boldness to it and makes you want to pick it up. There's grit, there's action, and that's what I feel like these covers do instead of the first one. So this is another example of a series redesign that went completely right. It just really works for it, and even the backs are awesome. It's just so cool. I love it. Alright, so the final redesign that I'm going to talk about is actually a very recent one, and I'm going to be talking about Sarah Dessen's books. Now, previously I owned all of her softbacks that look like this. They all have different colored spines, they have the same font, they have a little symbol on the spine, and the covers are very, very similar. I was never a huge fan of these covers, but I actually didn't mind them, so when the new cover came out and they started releasing more and more with the new designs, I realized what they'd been missing this whole time. So this is an example of her old cover, and this is an example of her new cover. There's something so breathtaking and beautiful about it. The colors are enhanced, it's vibrant, it sticks out on the shelf. The gradient font I feel like is amazing, and there's just something so cool about this cover design. If I saw these two on the shelf, I'd go towards this one and kind of ignore this one because these look a little old-fashioned in a way and they're not new and upcoming. So I feel like this was such a good choice. Even though the rest of them don't look like that in my bookshelf, I can now buy her new ones that look like this, and I think it's a much nicer and more appealing look. Alright, so those are basically all the redesigns in my shelf that I feel went right, and it was a really cool concept, and the new and fresh idea really worked for the series. So now I'm going to be talking about a few series with a cover design that's cohesive, it works all throughout the series, and they maintained it, which I'm very, very happy about. The first series I'm going to talk about is called the Shadow Falls series, and what makes me so happy about this is they're all paperback, they all look alike, they didn't change it halfway through and release hardcovers, and they just maintained it. It looks amazing on the shelf. They're all similar and I just am so happy about it. The first one is Born at Midnight. The second one is Awake at Dawn. As you can see, they're all very similar. There's a girl at the bottom in a different color. The third one is Taken at Dusk. The fourth one is Whispers at Moonrise. And the final one that I just purchased recently is Chosen at Nightfall. And they're a tad cliche, but it works for the series, it works for the story, so I'm a happy reader. Another series jacket design that I absolutely love is the Unearthly series by Cynthia Hand. This is the first book in the series, and as you can tell from the cover, has to do with angels and a girl in a pretty dress. I know, it's kind of cliche, but I feel like it really, really works for the story. It matches it well, it's not trying to be something it's not, it's very straightforward. And then the sequel looks very similar, which is called Hallowed, and they just changed it blue, changed the girl's picture, but it still looks the same. As you can see from the third book called Boundless, it looks the same, they changed the color to pink. It's still gorgeous, there's something breathtaking about the series, and when it's on a shelf it's amazing because it has this shine on the font and I love it. I'm just so happy they stuck with their idea early on, kept with it, continued with it, changed the color, kept it fresh and new. And I'm just glad on my shelf they all look the same, they're gorgeous, I love them, I'm in love. I love the colors, everything about it. So next I have the Lunar Chronicles series, which is by Marissa Meyer, and I love these covers. The first one is called Cinder, and the second one is called Scarlet, and as you can tell, they've maintained the red color, the awesome font, the black and blue background with a bit of purple, and they're bold, they're striking, they don't give away too much, but they hint at you what it's about and the coolness that's within this story. And the spines are just amazing. On my bookshelf they look so good, and I just love this series. On the inside and on the outside, so definitely check it out. It's gorgeous to look at and it's amazing once you read it. The next series I'm going to talk about is by Lauren DeStefano, and it's called the Chemical Gardens Trilogy. And yes, as you guys probably know, the covers are gorgeous. The first one I loved immediately. It's called Wither. The purple's the girl. I loved it. The sequel is called Fever, and it's the same yet very, very different in a way. It's cream instead of the purple. It matches really well and it just conveys the story beautifully. The third one came out. I really like the green. In a way, it's probably the least intriguing of them all and is a little bit different, but they're cohesive, and when they're on the shelf the colors flow. There's green, there's purples, they all really work together and they're beautiful from the spines. So I'm very happy with this series cover design. It's amazing and I think it's just one of the best out there for sure. Alright guys, so that's it for today's video. I know there's a lot more covers and designs in my bookshelf that I love, including the Mortal Instruments and the Gone series by Michael Grant, but I might dedicate that to another video and use those other ones for another one I do. You never know, I just can't include them all or else this will be super, super long, but definitely let me know down below what books you would include if you did this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts and opinions. So once again, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you with my next one, which will be posted on Thursday. Bye!